All right, gentlemen, welcome. Currently sharing my screen to the last time we found ourselves in Philadelphia. Oh, hello. Glad you're all here. I'm excited to go on down to Philadelphia here this weekend. I did not send the link to anyone but myself, in terms of someone other than myself joining. So I do apologize to Fug and others. Maybe I could do that now. It doesn't really matter. We will be brief, because it's going to be a great weekend and it doesn't need much talking about. However, I do want to give an early thank you to the New York teams willing to go down to PA and figure out a way to rekindle this Philadelphia region. No thanks to Ed Packer, who might show up around 3, 4 o'clock, blamed the league. It sounds like a lack of passion, which is fine. Guys have lack of passion. It doesn't even matter. However, if you were on at the very beginning, there was a picture which I could reshare, I guess, might as well because it's a cool pic. Um, One of the most famous All-Star games that Golden State has had was, like a New York versus the world or PA versus the world kind of deal. PA hosted this one at Fulcroft Elementary School, and looking back at this picture. There's almost a dozen guys who will be there this weekend. There's probably at least another dozen who have played over the last, I'd say 2 seasons, so they're around the game still. And then the rest are still probably within arm's reach. So these are some of the things I'd like to get back to. If folks are in the Philly, PA, Jersey area, off Long Island, maybe that was restricting you from coming out to Long Island the last couple of years. Uh, I want to build something back over here, so we're looking to start something up, starting with this tournament. So 16 teams, eight of which are from the PA Philly area. So we're actually going to do something a little unique this week with the pool draw. We're actually going to try to separate these Philly kind of non-league teams, if you would call them, versus the New York, Long Island, every week league structured teams. So that's going to give the traveling teams to Philadelphia a chance to play two teams that they wouldn't normally play, along with one team that, have meaning in the standings, versus these teams from Philly are going to get to see what the competition is in New York and perhaps something to build upon. So we'll introduce some of the teams after we do the pools. So I just want to quickly go over who we will have from a league team standpoint. So we have a wheel. We have multiple wheels this week because we have 16 teams. We'll be having four pools of four. Each team will have two teams from the New York region. If you notice here, there's one team missing. It's the process. They are a league team, but they are basically our host, and they are in Philly, and it was 9-7, so I decided to put them on the other side. So they're also a newer team. So the regulars of the league of the last 5 years really haven't seen a lot of the process, who are an up-and-coming team and a very serious contender here this weekend. So we have eight league teams. We're going to pick them one by one, like we always would. And then we also have a second wheel with the Philly Liberty Bell as well. Not sure if you could see it. I'll stop and reshare just in case. Here's the Philly wheel. Just to introduce these teams, we have The Process out of Philly. Uh, Ridley Park is bringing three teams: long balls, blue balls, dirt balls. Love to see it. A lot of big names, a lot of guys who have played yard before, former Players Cup champions in the long balls, blue balls. A few of the players, Joey Van Houten, and those players of those ilk. Dirt balls. I think that might be Joey's team. I forget this, but 15 guys that we all know and should be playing yard week to week. So we're going to bring it to them. Hopefully that means some trips to Long Island down in the future. Way Too Beautiful, a mainstay in this league for a dozen years. Same deal. They have things going on in real life. I did hear a rumor that future Hall of Famer Ian Crosby is going to be in attendance this weekend. So really, it really juiced me up to hear that these like traditional Philly PA guys are going to be back in action to play. Um, the East Bangor League, the Vortex guys, who for about 3 years I've been playing them in MAW and begging them to come play some yards. So glad that they're going to come out. Sean Huff and his guys, they're just great dudes, and they love Whiff, they love the game. And same goes for TBPA Plastic, Nate Teagle and those guys. They just have a group chat that's as deep as the wire, and they talk with, they want to be part of the game, and they want to help, advertise the game as well. So I think their team's going to be there to get a taste of what Yard League is, taste of what the competition is locally, and also see, how they could help us from a media standpoint because their social media is fantastic. The way that they market our game is just great. And the passion from that standpoint is something that really makes the game, flourish even further. And then a long-standing team, the PA Blue Dragons, the OG team for Ben Stant and his 13-year-old self. Come a long way since then. And it's great to see the clicks coming back. And I know that they're excited to play. I know that they hated coming to Long Island. I don't blame you. I get it. The competition is where it is, though, so I'm glad that the guys who did make those trips over the years are at least supporting this PA event, which will make me want to come back next year. And hopefully, all of these teams end up at the Open this year in August, August 22nd, 23rd, 24th, whatever the weekend is, you get the deal. We'll be talking to all of you individually this weekend, hoping that you will support us at the Open, whether that's as a league team by coming to more Long Island events or just as an individual team joining the wild card tournament. So, without further ado, we're going to pick these teams, but I kind of want to shift last moment. And I'm going to do something else, something that you're not going to have a choice in the matter. And I'm going to use some newfangled software and we're going to figure it the fuck out ourselves. And it's going to be fun. And we're actually going to use ChatGPT to decide what the pools are going to be. I've tested this already, so it should work and will work. This is what I wanted to say it to make it more fun, but I typed it because I didn't want to fuck it up. So I'm gonna ask ChatGPT, please create us four pools of four teams. Each pool to have two teams from Philly and two teams from New York. The teams are so suspenseful. Okay, they don't know. They want to organize it accordingly. I have it all written down already, so I already did this. Here's the 16 teams. I really didn't go over the New York team, which is Earl. No one cares. They did win the first event. Very good. Thanks to Vin Lee. Now been signed. Great to see it. The roster's embarrassing. No one shows up. DK, they'll be there. I don't believe who isn't coming. Peter. Shocker. Great. NRG, they'll be there. Full tilt. Big time contender. Screwballs without Johnny Chach, I think they'll be better. They won't have to listen to his stories all day. And I'm going to get shot for that. That was actually a dig at JD because that's what he always says. Speaking of JD, throwbacks will be there. I think it's a full squad as far as I know. Another contender. I think they're just a well-gelled team right now. And I think early in the season, they could do damage against teams that are unfamiliar with them. So I see them as a shot to win their pool, depending on where they are as well. Dark Knights, I think, is the probably the front runner to win, just with their pedigree. They're bringing their three best players, Dan Hargett included, and I think they're definitely one of the top teams to top two or three, I'd say. NCWB Select, love to see it. Joe Skolko, Jake Lucido, actually playing one-time sub Mike Sidorov. He was trying to bring the Dinos, trying to bring some guys up from his area to play some yard. He's been begging for it for a while. Hate to see it fall apart, but at the same time, good to see him playing with some good young guys. That are going to help himself. And then the enemy, I believe, is just Didio and Norris as a two. So that's has its own dynamics. That's a scary lineup and yada yada. But when do you run out of gas in the tank? That's always the thing as a two. And we're old now, so maybe I was trying to get the Dumps to play as a two. I thought Matt Schmidt and Nicky Dumps would be a very scary two-man team, both in weight class, but also agility and just pure skill. So without further ado, here is the 16 teams that are in this tournament separated by New York teams and PA teams. Hopefully it understood it. It did. Oh, it fucked it all up. Oh no, it didn't. It did. So we put in all the teams. Here's all the 16 teams, the process, the long balls, the blue balls, the dirt balls, way too beautiful, E-Bang Vortex, TBPA Plastic, Blue Dragons. Those are the Philly teams. Followed by the New York teams, Earl, DEK, NRG, Screwballs, Throwbacks, Dark Knights, Select, Enemy. That's a great 16 team crew. So without ChatGPT, we would have to do this with a bunch of wheels and take a bunch of time. And here are your pools. Just kidding, it's not your pools. I'm going to ask it further. I'm going to ask it another question to just make this more fun. So right now would have been process way too beautiful, energy, dark nights, blue balls, blue dragons, Earl throwbacks, dirt balls, vortex, select enemy, long balls, plastic. We're not doing any of that. You know why? Because I'm going to ask it one more question. I'm going to ask it to randomize this 100 times just for fun because it is fucking fun, all right? And I'm going to curse because I don't care. Now randomize this 100 more times with the same rules and select the most common outcome for the use in our tournament. Super qualifier number two. All right? It's going to analyze, analyze, analyze. It's going to spit out something. It could be the same thing that we just did. But whatever it spits out here, that will be the pools. So, as it states, after running 100 randomized situations of the two rule Philly, blah, 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 the most common outcome, though it only occurred once, unbelievable, indicating a highly random distribution, is blue balls, long balls, Earl, Dark Knights, Pool A, Blue Dragons, TBPA Plastic, DEK, and Select Pool 2, Dirt Balls, Process, Enemy, Screwballs, Pool 3, Vortex, Way Too Beautiful, NRG, Throwbacks, Pool 4. So, I'm going to put those in. We'll figure it out in a little bit. I'm going to post it very soon. So again, watching this video really just confirms that it happened in real life, right? I'll screenshot it. I'll do whatever you guys want. It doesn't really matter. Here are the teams that will be playing this weekend. There's 16 of them. 12 of them will move on. Something we haven't done in a long time is we haven't had a 16 team tournament, which is a good thing. That most of them have been a lot larger. A 16 team four pool tournament 12 team cut will mean each pool winner will earn a bye. It will be an earned bye, so they'll get their points, they'll get everything they deserve out of that earned bye and get a lunch break before they play their final eight and beyond. So win your pool, you earn a bye. The next eight teams beyond that will get into the playoff, and the bottom four will play exit games for I've decided a $25 credit for an event that they go into this year. So if you're a team from Philly and you decide to come to New York, we'll give you a break when you come in there that week. Normally, we haven't been giving out money at these exit games. They've been giving out points. So if you're a non-league team, we'll give you a credit for a tournament to be used in this season. Hopefully, you guys really enjoy yourselves and you're going to want to come back. I know that I would want you to. So, I'm sure no one wants to listen to me anymore. But I'm very excited for Philly. I'm very excited for the support that you guys have given. If we had a little more time and a couple more teams, we definitely could have solicited and gotten to that 18 to 20 team mark. So it's just a goal for next year. Folks who are in the Philly area, if you have any interest in assisting or helping with media, whether that's day of, field crew the day before, any sort of in-game, in-day sort of stuff, we will take that help graciously. Our wonderful tournament director, Anthony Dioria, will not be there this weekend, but we will have Anthony Caputo there, Phil Fresiello there, myself, and others from across the Philly and New York area. So I'm very excited. I hope you are too. I'm looking forward to this. If you have questions, comments, concerns, please reach out to me directly. First pitch will be 8:30 in the morning, like it always is. There won't be much to say to start. I would like to bring everyone together and get a photo just because we haven't been in Philly in a long time. So I would like to do that. So please be there by about 8 a.m. I'll send out a captain's text and email by Saturday afternoon at some point so everyone knows what the deal is. And again, any issues, too bad because you're all paid and we got a field and we're ready to rock. And the draw is done. It will be posted tonight. We will be streaming games once again, thanks to Anthony and Phil. They'll be working on which games we're going to stream in the morning. And then, of course, playoff games will be determined by those matchups. So, everyone have a great night. Thank you for listening to my blatherings. And